Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Roast.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with the Survivor 49 premiere reaction and review.
Very excited. There's some people already on this cast that I'm really liking.
I'll admit, going into this premiere, I had like a tiny amount of trepidation, and it really didn't have anything to do with the people who were on this season. It's just that there has been all of this hoopla around the greater Survivor community. We all know season 50 is coming.
Absolutely.
It's returning players. Like, I get all of that. And I was very worried that season 49 was just going to get forgotten, lost in the shuffle. But I feel 90% positive coming out of these first 2 hours.
Oh, 90%. All right.
Listen.
I'm feeling about that as well. There's
Yep.
a couple of contestants that I'm already like, Jake. Why are you hiding people's shoes? Why are you weakening your own tribe all the way at the beginning of all of it? I have never understood this strategy. You guys are all on the same team. If you're weakening your team, then you're not going to do well. I don't get it. And I wanted to root for him. I mean, Canadian, but I'm having a hard time, guy.
Like, there's still some things I kind of like about him. That's just that I don't really like.
I
And
don't get it.
like, there's a couple of other contestants I feel the same about, but I will say in general, the best thing about this premiere is that production did not get in the way of their own show. There were not 200 different advantages thrown at us. I feel like we got just the right amount of Probst where he was occasionally obnoxious, but I wasn't like constantly reminded that he's just trying to get us to audition for Survivor during the show.
Of course he is.
So it's just like, I feel like we're set up now for a good season where we got some really solid game players. I mean, the one problem with this premiere is that I think from the immunity challenge on, it was just so painfully obvious who was going to get voted out.
Yeah, I mean, I know they tried their best. The editors tried their best with the whole, is it Nicole? Is it Annie?
Yep.
I mean, it was very obvious that it was just going to be Nicole.
Well, we will get more into this season, this premiere, everyone we like, some of the game moves that are being set up. But before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we will be here with all sorts of Survivor 49 coverage all season long. We're very excited to be back discussing the world of Survivor with you guys. And we are also gearing up for the amazing race, which this season features former Big Brother contestants and their loved ones going all over the world.
We are also getting ready for the Traders UK. We're going to be covering that here as well. So hit that subscribe button, stick with us. If you want to chat with us further about Survivor, you can head over to our Patreon. Over there, we're having chat and polls, discussion, all kinds of things going on. So I'll leave a link for you below if you want to join it.
Thank you guys so much for your support. Like, that is so appreciated by us. Okay, let's just start here because we want to be positive. You know, it's a new season of Survivor. We want to get off on the right foot. Who are we liking the most?
I'm really liking Jason.
All right.
Yeah, I just feel like when he gave his story where he's like, yeah, I was an alternate. I got the call, like, you know, the night before. I am in the TV. I was just like, this guy's just so likable. Like, he feels really nerdy, like me, like you. Like, I just really like him. I'm feeling the vibes. Do I think he's going to win? I don't think so, but I do really like him.
Okay, I will say first and foremost, he is almost the spitting image of Matt from Matt and Franny fame. They both have the same glasses, the big hair. Well, I think he probably has the potential to finish right around where Matt did, where he was on the jury. So it's not like, I don't think he's going to do badly. I'll have a little bit of a story time here when it comes to how I relate to Jason a lot on some level. So, you know, I saw a couple of episodes of the first season of Survivor when it was on so many years ago, but it was really season 2 that I became a pretty big fan. But I became a die-hard fan during my favorite train wreck season of Survivor, Survivor Gabon. And so there was a contestant on that season named Kenny. And Kenny was a professional Super Smash Brothers player who went by the name of Sephiroth Kin. Congratulations, Kenny, Final Fantasy VII reference. But where this connects to me is that my roommate in college, Richard, hi Kirby Kid, I don't think you would mind me saying that, he was also in the Super Smash Brothers kind of competitive circuit, and so I played a lot of it with Richard when I was roommates with him, and that was like the first time we felt like one of us is actually on Survivor. Like, we really connected to the show, and seeing Jason talk about this, it's just like bringing all of those warm and fuzzy memories back for me.
Yeah, I really connect with him. I'm also really connecting with Christina. She was like talking about, oh, I've never been camping. I'm not into outdoor stuff, but here I am on Survivor. I was just like, this is amazing for me. You know, she doesn't like birds. I'm afraid of birds too. I just felt like she's me. I am definitely not an outdoorsy type girly. I don't want to camp. I don't want to sleep on the ground. And that is why I would never go on Survivor. But to see Christina, who is a lot like me in that way, actually go on Survivor, I was like, okay, like this would be like if I was on Survivor, she's playing for me.
I always do wonder with someone like her, it's like, what was the impetus that made you want to be like, all right, you know what?
Totally.
I want to face all these things that I don't like. Because I am like,
I love people that do that.
yeah, and it's like I'm okay with birds, but a lot of the other aspect of Survivor I am not here for. I'm not here for the bugs. Like, maybe
thank
you
you.
could put me in the castle on the Traitors and I could live with that. But I'm not Survivor. No, you're not finding me on there. But I do like her. I like Nate. I like Nate's vibes, and it has nothing really to do with the, oh, look at how many Marvel references I can throw into a single episode. It's more just he has a lot of self-awareness, like him realizing I'm one of the older people out here. They're going to view me this way. How am I going to deal and adapt to some of that? Like, I really like just sort of seeing how on the ball he kind of was with everything. Now, here is my one beef, a little bit with Nate, a little bit with Savannah. Why are you guys all lying about your job? We're getting to the point here where we're going to start seeing people that are going to be like, I'm a street juggler, but I'm not going to tell people I'm a street juggler because that shows I'm good at a skill.
Okay, I actually understand why Nate and Savannah are
All
both
right,
hiding it.
all
Savannah
right.
is a reporter. That's her job, is to get information out of people. I'd be concerned if I was on a tribe and someone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a reporter." I'm just like, "Oh, okay." So they're going to be able to like maneuver me and manipulate me into saying things that I might not want to say. With Nate, he's got like a really kind of high profile job. He's like, helping produce movies that are really huge movies. To me, there would just be, I'd be kind of sitting back feeling like, well, if he's producing movies like this, then he's probably already making some decent money. Does he really need to be on the show? Probably not. But I like him. He's Camp Daddy.
Yeah. We needed a Camp Daddy this season.
Yeah.
I do think that you're right to an extent here, that it's just that nobody on Survivor, you never want to give anyone an automatic reason to want to vote you out early on.
The thing that I really liked about the way that Nate handled it is that he still kept himself in that profession, but just put himself, further down the line. Like, oh, I'm a PA, so that it's like, okay, he's not in a position of power, someone who would be assigning jobs or bossing people around or any of that type of stuff. He's put himself like way down, but he's still in that profession. That will be very helpful with keeping this lie together.
Yeah, I really don't understand the people that are like, I'm not only going to make up a job, but a job that I have no experience in whatsoever.
Okay, let's talk about Jake the Canadian, because when he was first like, I'm Canadian, I'm like, I can hear it. I hear the accent. I understand. Okay, you're going to be my guy.
Yeah.
And then he was like broing down, which I'm never really that like into, because, I'm not really in that circle. I'm more of in the nerdy circle. So bros are not typically my thing. But then, while he started with this, I'm hiding a left shoe of somebody on my tribe every day. I'm like, and why? Like, what is the reason? Like, if you're going to do it, at least explain to us, the audience, what's the motivation? What do you think you're getting out of this? Are you trying to only do it to people that you're hoping to weaken on your tribe to get them out of the tribe? Or are you doing it to everyone? Because it sounded like he was going to do it to just everyone, where he's like, every day it'll be a different person's left shoe, hardy har har har. I'm like, this is just sabotaging your own game.
It's so weird. Okay, the obvious comparison a lot of people are going to draw is like, okay, this is like Russell Hands from Samoa. And it's been a long time since I've seen Samoa. But if my memory serves me right, Russell at least had some sort of rationale where in his weird, twisted brain, he kind of figured out that, okay, if he weakened his tribe, it would, one, make him appear more valuable to them, and two, he could sort of filter out certain people as a result of all this. And yes, Russell did make it to the end of his first season, and I will never admit to liking Russell Hantz, but I will say he played a pretty good game at times. But here, there's no real rationale behind any of it. I don't know if he's just like, are you eventually giving the shoes back? Well, I guess not, because you don't want people to know you're the one doing it.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time figuring it out at this point in the game. Like, this is the first episode. You guys have been there a minute at this point.
Yeah.
So are you targeting certain people? He just didn't explain it well enough. And I think that was part of the problem. He didn't say why he's doing it. He basically said that he's doing it to everybody. Every day I'll be a different person's shoe. So I'm like, okay, then why? What are you hoping to get out of this? Is this just boredom and you're sabotaging things to sabotage things, which also sabotages you?
Yeah. Okay. I think it's either boredom. He's trying to reheat the nachos of a former Survivor player, and I'm never going to be that excited about that. Like, go on the show and play your own game. Or he's actually just figuring out that there's something in here that he's benefiting from, even if it's just, I want more screen time. I want to make a name for myself. And it's just like, okay, is this really the name you want to make for yourself?
I think he probably doesn't care.
Okay, so let's
as
talk
long
about...
as he gets a name.
Let's talk about this bromance for a moment here with Jake and Alex. Because, okay, here is the thing. I would not love this if I was on this tribe either. Like, I've got some jockey friends, but the idea of two of these dudes in the same group when it's a group of 6, just for the two of them as well, this is just bad strategy. You should never, day one of Survivor, make it this clear that you are this close to one other person.
So clear that when Sophie was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to try to make something with Jake. You know, I need a meat shield. He'll be it. Hey, do you want to work with me on whatever? We could be each other's number one. Basically, he's like, well, I already have something going on a bromance over here with Alex. So yeah, if you want to be a third in this, that's no problem. It's like, holy cow. You feel very confident to basically say, nah, I'm good on the first day and be like, you can be a part of this 3 because I'm already good. I couldn't believe that he said it that way.
No,
it was shocking.
It's really shocking because it's just this idea of like, okay, you're never going to be the top of the pyramid in this alliance. So my response would be like, okay, I will say yes to everything you say because that's what you do in Survivor. You always say yes, but then you go and make a bond with some other people and be like, we got to split these two up and then we can all be potentially number ones together.
Yeah, because later when Sophie's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm feeling a little jealous. These two are getting really close. I'm just like, he told you that you were the third. He was straight with you about it. So like, you can't be out here feeling bad about it when he was honest with you about it.
Okay, this whole blue tribe here, the Kelly tribe that is Sophie, Annie, Jeremiah, Jake, Nicole, and Alex, this tribe is a disaster. I don't know how else to put it. They stink in challenges. You've got this bromance that for some reason you don't want to target at this point. It seems like Annie has like no social game whatsoever.
But I'm rooting for her anyway. I feel so bad. She's like on a tribe where like a bunch of people are already in alliance. And even at the tribal council where it's like, yep, it's down to 2 people. Nicole's looking around being like, am I good? And Annie's just like, well, I know I'm not good. Like it's such a crappy feeling so early on. I know it's Survivor, but it just makes me want to root for Annie to find a way around this.
I think the best thing that Annie can hope for, and if there is an argument to keep the bromance together right now, it's probably like, okay, on paper, I would think this tribe would not be terrible in physical challenges because you've got both of these dudes around. And if Nicole is gone, maybe you can win for a couple of rounds until there's a tribe swap, and then someone like Annie, maybe you can find a way to figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, Annie actually looks like she's in fairly decent shape.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
better than me.
Oh, it's way better than me. It's just like most of the people I think on this show, like, you know, we saw even Jawan explaining some of the practice that he was putting in. Like, you know, for a while you're either in the casting pool or you're kind of close. So I will never understand people who go into this show and just aren't prepared for some of the different things that they will throw at you.
Absolutely. This is a very physical show. Like, there is no way I'm going on this show ever.
No.
Like, I would never make it. I'd be the person who's still trapped under the net.
Okay, well, since we're already on the Kelly tribe and everything going on there, we'll let's take a moment here to discuss a little bit more Nicole leaving the game.
Yeah.
It's just, she had no ability to do well in challenges really at all. Like, I hate to paint with a super broad brush here, but it seemed like she was pretty bad at every single part of the immunity.
Yeah, and she was even kind of going around trying to get feedback from people where she was like, I know I didn't do that great physically. I know
Yeah.
that I didn't do that great in the puzzle. Like, I'm getting feedback where people are like, oh no, it's fine. You're great. You're great. You're great. At that point, I would be like, okay, something is definitely wrong
Yeah.
because I know already myself, and I'm saying it to you that I didn't perform very well. And you telling me I did is odd.
Yeah, and it also just felt like when she was walking around camp, it looked like maybe she was just feeling really bad. And like a
Mhm.
lot of the buzz heading into this season was that it was really, really, really hot out there. And it's just like that's the sort of thing where if someone already looks like they could be getting sick or struggling with the conditions,
Mhm.
it's like, sure, you can keep them if you think they're a really valuable number, but then you kind of run the risk of, okay, are they going to slow us down in further challenges? Is it somebody who may have to leave the game by some other means? And it's just like, you don't want to whittle down your numbers that much this early.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that this is the way that they decided to go with it, even though editing was trying to be like, oh, maybe it'll be Annie instead because she's targeting the bros. It's like, okay, but she's one vote against four. Like, she's not going to get what she wants, especially after Nicole goes, because now there's just her against everybody else.
Yeah, okay. Here's the part of this though that I really did not understand is that Nicole didn't even play her shot in the dark. And
I know they really
yes,
convinced her that she was fine.
who did that? Because it's just like, like you just said a minute ago, if everybody is like, oh, you did fine, you're fine, and you know you stunk in the challenge,
Yeah.
I would play that shot in the dark 100% at this point.
Absolutely. Especially if I mean, like, if it's just going to turn out that they were like, oh, yeah, we're all voting for Annie anyways, then you don't need my vote to make that happen.
Yeah, it's like I'm never gonna be on these videos and cape for this silly twist. Like I've never really liked the shot in the dark all that much. Like I missed the pre-New Era Survivor, but it's just like if it's here,
Use it.
yeah, you kind of got to take advantage of it a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay, let's shift a little bit now to some of the other tribes, and
Yeah.
let's talk about Uli, the red tribe here for a moment, because one of my favorite storylines, like we've got people that we're rooting for, but a
Mhm.
storyline I'm very interested in already is this like Shannon Savannah relationship where
Yeah.
they're kind of working together, but Savannah is also kind of clocking Shannon, so it kind of feels like it's, I don't know, a survivor frenemies.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, we've seen that. We saw that last season. So, I mean, with Mary and Say. So, we'll see.
I think Savannah Production's going to lean on her a lot. I think they were
Yeah.
probably very happy to have a reporter
Yep.
on here. She's very good in confessionals. It seems like she has a pretty clear sense as to what is going on,
Yep.
but it's sort of like, I don't have, okay, this isn't like a complete hot mess tribe. We're not like on the Kelly Blue tribe level here.
No.
But at the same time, I don't really have that much confidence in this group. We've got Rizo, who just miraculously managed to make it through that solo challenge. We'll get more to that in a little bit. We have
Mhm.
Sage. I'm not sure Sage knows what show she's even really on at this point.
I feel like they're just really trying to capture that little bit of magic in a bottle that they had with Carolyn. They've brought on somebody that's kind of that same archetype every single season, and it has never caught on like her.
Yeah, it's just that sort of quirky contestant. Like their ceiling is really high. Like they can be really, really fun. Like I love Carolyn. I'm not here for Sage at the moment. Like she's really gonna have to win me over.
Yeah.
Like Shannon's even a little bit quirky in her whole like guided meditations. Like there's a lot of this forced kumbaya that happens early on Survivor. I'm always suspicious of the person who's like kind of sort of leading it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not someone who wants to be forced into stuff. Like, I'm fine to try stuff, but if it's sort of like this, oh, we all have to participate, then I'm just going to vote you out.
I understand. Okay, let's talk about Rizzo. We've waited long enough in order to get to this.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, first and foremost, I'm not going to sit here and chastise people for coming up with your own nickname because we do live in a
Sure.
culture of Survivor where we've got the Black Widow, where we've got the Dragon Slayer. But here's my point. You have to earn your nickname. You cannot show up in episode 1 and give yourself a nickname and like, I am not calling you Riz God. I'm sorry. I cannot. I'm too old for this. I cannot bring myself to say that.
I'm absolutely not calling you a Riz God. You're just Rizzo, and that is totally fine too. You have a nice name. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah, like you have a nice name, you have a good story. Like I did like hearing a little bit about your background. I think it's always interesting to watch people who kind of come from nothing and understand like the importance, the responsibility of being on a show like Survivor, because that does signal to me that's like, okay, you're gonna play really hard. You're gonna do whatever it takes. And I do at least support that.
I think for me, it's tough now because now whenever I see this exact same archetype that comes on every single season, which is like a nerdy guy in his like early to mid 20s every season, like the Cochrans, you know, back in the day, I was just like, yes, that's my guy, always my guy. And then it was just kept going on and on every season. It's another Carson. Now it's Rizzo. It's just the same person over and over and over again. It feels like they're really, like I said, like even with the Carolyn archetype, they're trying to plug in the same types of personalities every single season. And it's always the people that are not in that archetype that always just end up kind of rising to the top. That's why when Carolyn was on, it was so special, right? And it felt special. Or when we had Team Guyana on last season, you know, it's amazing to have like such interesting, cool people that are not, you're trying to have, you know, the quirky person who's into astrology, or you're having the nerdy guy who's 25 years old who knows all the puzzles and knows everything, except Rizzo doesn't know the puzzles because he's cheating.
Okay, here we go, everybody. We're doing this right now.
Okay, listen, I'm fully aware that this is something that people have done on the show before. And people are allowed to do on the show, and other people can try to stop people from, you know, copying their stuff. We even just saw this on Big Brother where, you know, Adrian had looked up a whole bunch of different parts of a puzzle, and then Zach just went and followed what he did, all of his work, and took the prize.
Yeah.
It does happen. I don't like it on Big Brother. I don't love it here either. It feels like cheating. And I know that it's not, because you're obviously allowed to do it because people are doing it. It just feels so dirty.
It's okay. To me, the word I will use to describe it is it's annoying, because if I was Alex and I'm busting my butt in this challenge, I'm doing everything I've been digging for 2 million years, then this guy comes and just copies what I do and is getting a leg up on me. Like, I would be really frustrated. And beyond all of that, I would be really mad, and I would bring this information back to my tribe and be like, just so you guys know, Rizzo was doing this. And maybe some of them would have been like, I would have done it too, but it's hard to really know. But above all else, this is a signal to those people that, okay, Rizzo is really here to play, and he's willing to do all this from the start. We probably shouldn't trust him too much later on down the road.
Yeah, and I know there's going to be some people out there that are like, oh, well, this is Alex's fault. He should have, you know, covered it over more. And we saw him trying to do that. Even Rizzo was like, he's in the way, covering his puzzle or whatever. The problem is that this puzzle is a map, and he's having a hard time finding what he needs, where the X exactly is to be able to get what he needs. So I understand why he's not pulling apart his puzzle, because he's not able to find what he needs, and that is the map. So that would mean that every time he comes back that he doesn't find it, he has to rebuild this whole puzzle all over again, and that's going to cost him time.
Here is the line of delineation that I have with the Survivor nerd archetypes here, is that I like my nerds that are either self-deprecating, a little bit more self-aware, like
or like Jason.
Yeah, or like Jason. It's like, you know, I love Matt and Franny. Like, I liked Cochran around the first couple of times. I loved Christian on David versus Goliath, you know, Stephen Fishback, like all of those people. But it's the people who come on Survivor and immediately are just like so high on their own sauce. And that's just like, okay.
He's calling himself a god.
Yeah, I was never this kind of nerd. I was the kind of nerd, I would barely even get my name out at parties because I'm too busy hiding in the corner so people don't notice me. But I think this tribe, it could be really interesting. I feel like high ceiling, very low floor. We're either going to have a lot of people be successful here, or this tribe is just completely going to crumble because it feels like they're all on the verge of fighting with each other already.
Yes.
All right. So the other tribe that we have here, and, you know, bear with me, I'm still trying to get the pronunciations and all this. This is the Hina tribe, the Yellow tribe. This is where, you know, your
Christina!
beloved Christina is on this. You really like her.
Yeah, I do.
I like rocket scientist Steven.
I like him too.
Yeah, like, you know, I appreciate someone being so willing to talk about their hearing aids, somebody who's severely visually impaired. Like, I always find that very heartwarming. I like that he is self-deprecating. His whole discount Ryan Reynolds thing made me laugh, mostly because back in the day when I had hair, I had a discount Brendan Fraser thing going for a little while. No more, alas. But it's just, I really found the two of them interesting and just kind of fun to watch.
I also just really like that Steven is already playing, that he's out there being like, you know what, I always kind of feel self-deprecating. I feel like I have imposter syndrome. I think there's a lot of people out there that also feel that way, like I just don't really belong, but I'd really like to belong. And he is trying to figure out how to do that by building one-on-one relationships, which I think is how a lot of other nerdy people go about it. You know, me, I'm not okay in just a big group situation, but one-on-one I'm able to work things out a little bit better. So, you know, maybe he's like that as well, because it seems like he is working through the tribe and it is working. People are like, oh man, I really like him. Oh man, I really like him too. Man, I hope he's not saying this to everybody because I really like him.
I also really like this interesting relationship between Steven and Matt, because it just sort of feels like they are an unlikely duo. I like, once again, self-awareness of Matt, somebody who clearly knows the outdoors, how to function, but very worried of like, I don't want to go in here and just like kick the door down and be like, look at me, Mr. Survivor. Like, his people really look at you at a certain point being like, you know, who made you king? We don't want you here.
Absolutely. And that's why I was glad to see Steven kind of clock and be like, we just need a fire. Can you please just step up?
Yeah, and he did. I think there's a sense of harmony on this tribe. Like, there's a good and bad news with it, is that I think this Yellow tribe has potential to stick around. I also think they have potential to be the most boring of the three tribes. Not that these people are boring. It's just, it doesn't feel like we're on the cusp of just like constant fighting here.
Okay, speaking of fires, let's also talk about Jawan and how he was having a really hard time making a fire, even though he was like, I practiced at home. I'm really good at this. I'm able to get this together. I think this is going to be a real asset for me being on this tribe to be able to make fire. But he was really struggling with it out there and getting, of course, frustrated about it because he had practiced so much and it was just flopping. He couldn't have it happen. And Savannah's out here clocking it, being like, this is a red flag that, you know, he's getting so frustrated and, you know, he's unable to make this fire. And I'm like, this is a green flag for me, man. If I was on this tribe and I saw that Jawan did not know how to make a fire, I'd be like, we're going to the end together. I can beat this guy. He does not know how to make a fire. Let's go.
Yeah.
Final two.
It is a great thing to have, that comfort of knowing you can beat somebody. This is the thing. I would never be able to make a fire on Survivor. I could practice a year, 2 years, 3. Like, I have a lot of sympathy, and I like Jawan. He just seems like a kind of cool, relatable guy. But getting into Savannah and her mindset with this, like, this is the thing. It could be a red flag with her that she is thinking this hard about like every little person, every little thing they're doing at this point, because it's a lot like, and you know, I'm not saying Savannah's the next Tony, but you look at what Tony did on some of his seasons where he won and then he was voted out almost right away in his next season, just because like if you play that hard, you're playing a very high risk, high reward. And if, you know, if you can contain all this to confessionals, maybe you're okay. But Savannah already feels like someone who is going to overthink a lot of things and just constantly be go, 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 go. And that could be kind of something that messes her up.
Or it could be something that gets her really far because she is a reporter, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, there's got to be a reason why she's gotten far in her job.
Yeah, I feel like in general, there's a good like 9 or 10 castaways at this point who I'm pretty excited about. There's a couple that are just totally forgettable, but it's just one episode. I'm willing to forgive that.
Yeah.
Probst, I will give you, because we love to kind of look at how Probst is doing every season. I will give you a solid B+ for this premiere. You had a couple of good moments yelling at people in the challenges. You weren't too obnoxious. You scaled back some of the twists, like we said at the start. it didn't feel like idols or advantages or, going on journeys, that was like dominating this first episode.
And you didn't really call out anybody's game early on like you did with Camilla last season. I will not forgive you for it.
And that is where we are coming out of the Survivor 49 premiere. But we want to hear from you guys. What did you think about these first couple of hours? Who are you rooting for? Let us know in the comments. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more Survivor coverage. Support us further by joining our Patreon. That link is in the description. Thank you so much for your support. We will see you here next time.